Oh hey, you're back. So I beat one Wizrobe, actually two Wizrobes, but they were the same. I can keep showing you how to fight other ones if you want. I know I didn't go into a lot of depth, but I feel like a lot of it comes down to just staying calm and staying calm and trying to fight them one-on-one, which I know isn't always easy. But really, they're pretty easy to disrupt, interrupt their attack. As long as you just hit them almost at any time. So yeah, thinking I should get this memory that's over there. Is there any? Not really an easy way of getting across via water. So I should run along this bridge. I've got it. Should have had a better plan. Oh, I just realized this wind sword. Can you see that? There's like actually holes in it. Like it's not a completely solid blade. That's pretty cool. Ah, hey. Ah. Aha! Aha! I got windy bits. Windy bits. Ooh. Same with that person. Dallas probably would have killed me in one shot because of the armor I'm wearing / not wearing. But you just need to interrupt. I think the things that make higher level enemies harder, like silver ones, is that they're harder to interrupt. I think you have to hit them harder, otherwise they'll still keep attacking you. Like, I think there must be some sliding level for all of them, but like, you know, red Bokos don't take many hits, but even so, you basically can hit them with almost anything and they'll be interrupted. And so it can be very easy to avoid damage as long as you hit them at all. And then blue bokoblins, I think, you know, you might have to hit them with something stronger. What have we got here? Hey, got one of your swords. Oh, that was way too high. Aha! And a ha ha ha! Alright. I know, he's back. See this guy. Ooh. Okay. Aha! Let's get a weapon out. Oh no. And aha! And now I got another sword. Alright. Guys. I'm trying to remember who I am. I'm trying to get a memory. Oh, bats. Not now, bats. Nope. There you go. Didn't have time to explain what I was doing. But yeah, pulling out a bomb, and then if you press A to start running, I had to look down. Actually, no. Not even A. What is it? B. Yeah, if you press A, yeah. Cool. I kind of just did it through muscle memory. Didn't have to think about exactly what it did. So if you press A, you'll just let go of the bomb, and then you immediately start pressing B to sprint away, and then you can set the bomb off. So that's a good way of dealing with those bats, just by hitting it with a bunch of bombs. A bunch of bombs? Hitting a bunch of them with one bomb. Two different meanings. Wow, made it. Let's find out what happened over here in the past. It's just a shrine. Kind of purpley. We found it. Oi, it's in my memory. Yeah. Well. Kind of one of the bokoblin skeleton. Skeleboko? I feel like there's a proper name for them. Anyway. I wanted one just sitting at my feet while I remembered the past. But this part here hasn't changed in 100 years. Impressive. Back when I had the Master Sword.
I doubt this will let up anytime soon. Your path seems to mirror your father's. You've dedicated yourself to becoming a knight as well. Your commitment to the training necessary to fulfill your goal is really quite admirable. I see now why you would be the chosen one. What if one day you realized that you just weren't meant to be a fighter? Yet the only thing people ever said was that you were born into a family of the royal guard, and so no matter what you thought, you had to become a knight. If that was the only thing you were ever told, I wonder then, would you have chosen a different path?
It's a good question. What would Link be if he wasn't told to be a guard or a knight? Oh yeah. Still there? You're still there. There we go. Hit the thing. And pretty sure there's Caret hiding back here. I did find you. Correct. Alright. So we got that memory. What's the next closest one? So there's there at Lanayru, there's that one at the facing the Dueling Peaks, and that one at Central. Oh, and there's Death Mountain. Where's the nearest stable? I think that other memory's around here. Let's say Forest of Time. That sounds very auspicious. I reckon we get the other memory, and then we go get our good friend Greg or Impa back. Get all those thingies. We should head to Death Mountain. I'm just keen on getting all the memory, and then getting the final memory, so that when I beat the game, it's like, yeah, I did the things, and I did them all. Ooh. Did I do that one? I did do that one. That was very early on. So long ago, chucking rocks down at that, thinking I don't even need Korok seeds, but I'm gonna do this anyway. That sounds like something I would do. The Bosch Kalar Shrine. And these chuckleheads. Ooh. These things are happening. Whoa. Oh no. Oh no. There's a lot of things happening right now. I don't. No. I got hit by the bats. Ugh. Alright, we'll get rid of one bokoblin at least. Duh. Whoops, I think I knocked myself over. Ooh. Wait, is that it? Does this run away now? What happened to the Yiki guy? Did he just give up? I feel like the music still indicates that there's something nearby. Unless that's just because I'm low on health. What's that? No, just sleeping. Alright, well that was hectic. I feel like I'm a little bit out of practice. A little bit rusty. It's been a while. But now that I have a second computer, I can properly make use of my capture card. Because I could play this again in master mode on like legit PC. And I'm still keen to play Wind Waker. And pretty much, I can still only really think of Nintendo, Zelda and Mario properties for games to play. And then something squishy came out. It did. It was a Nocturok. What? There's a Nocturok. Aha! You gave away your position. Where are we going? I think I'm on the wrong side of the lake. Ah. Alright, this is a bit more peaceful, even though it's nighttime. What's that moon? Is there no moon? Ooh. Well, based on the shadow, see, I think bit of an oversight, but like you still get moonlight even though there's no moon. So they have whatchamacallit, phases of the moon, but they don't have, the phases don't affect the lighting. You can kind of still tell where the moon is. I'm pretty sure it's that way, which means it must be getting closer-ish to dawn. Maybe they decided that it was too much effort and... Oh hey, you guys aren't even in the ground. Didn't mean to upset your sleeping party. Woo! Ha! Next. Gonna keep on running. Gonna keep running. That's fine. They'll just roll their way back to bed. Hey deer. Deer? Yeah, deer. Doe is female deer. There's a whole song about that. Where's the memory again? I think it's over here, right? Somewhere around here. I mean, you could just try to line it up with, Whoa! Guys, I'm trying to remember things. Am I in the wrong part? Ah! You get poked. You get poked for that. I feel like the memory is actually on this side. Ooh. Yeah. See, I was right. It's nearly dawn. Yeah. You know, everything's going well for me. Pre's being busy. She's got conventions. A lot. I wish I could remember exactly, but I feel like she mentioned 4. I feel like she's managed to sort of like not have to personally go to a lot of them, but you know, still involved with, and Checkpoint is handling. There's a memory. Checkpoint is handling a bunch of conventions. So that's keeping her busy at the moment. Convention season. We still need to update our Japan trip. So we should do that at some point. I can't remember if I told you. Also, so I need to update and create my resume, because I'm planning on applying to be an interview engineer at a company called Caret. We'll see how that goes. But that's basically like they do tech screens.
From here, we'll make our way to Goron City.
Ah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Then, we'll need some adjustments on that divine beast, so Daru can manage it as easily as possible.
I won't do.
He's figured out how to get it to move. However, it's apparent that we still have much more to learn. But to think, that divine beast was actually built by people.
Pretty
That
whack.
means we should be able to understand how it works and how to use it to our advantage. These divine beasts, so much we don't know. But if we want to turn back Calamity Ganon, they're our best hope. Tell me the truth. How proficient are you right now wielding that sword on your back? Legend says that an ancient voice resonates inside it.
Indeed.
Can you hear it yet, hero?
No, we can't. But that's brought up from Skyward Sword. But yeah, anyway. The company is called Caret, and they handle tech screens. Yeah, tech screens for other companies. And a tech screen is part of the interview process for hiring a dev, usually. Yeah, let's go to Riverside. Going back the way we came. So I had to do a bunch of these tech screens at my last job at Rome to Rio, and I'm not gonna say that like it was my forte, but I feel like I was reasonably good at conducting them. I actually kind of didn't mind them. It was usually just because like when we were doing a tech screen, we were doing like a bunch of. We sort of combined some of this stuff with. No, that's not quite true. I think we had a similar process of a phone screen, and then a tech screen, and then the full day interviews. And admittedly, I mostly focused on the full day interviews, I suppose. And then my only real concern was the fact that like that took up a lot of time doing full day interviews. But I mean, I had to do one to get hired there in the first place as well. So I mean, it was okay. I think the process has merits, but it could have always been improved. Like most things. Yeah. So this company handles the tech screen, which is like the thing before you invest time in doing a full day interview. And so far it seems like I know one person who does them. They seem to be alright. I've looked at their company, and at least outwardly they present themselves as being like, you know, a pretty good company made up of good people. They seem to present themselves as trying to be like, you know, trying to remove biases from the hiring process, trying to make sure that like, you know, things don't become too monoculture and that devs aren't just hiring other devs who are exactly like them, and trying to encourage diversity and all that sort of stuff, which is great. So, I mean, admittedly, I don't fall into that category as a, you know, white male dev, but we'll see. I suspect that my main advantage will actually mostly just be my time zone. Because one of the things they promise is that, like, hey, a candidate who wants to be hired can do the interview whenever they want. You know, and if they already have a job and they don't want to have an interview for another job whilst at their current job during the day, but they want to do it outside of work hours, that would actually work well for me, because there's a lot of Americans who it'll be the evening during my day, which means can sort of help in that regard. So they are also a worldwide company, which also is cool. Anyway, it seems promising. Looks like I'd be able to. They seem quite flexible with the number that you can do. You can sort of request how many you want and how many interviews you want to take on. Anyway, it's an option, and I need to update my resume before I apply, which means entirely I might not get the job anyway. But ideally, I wanted something that I can do between like 1 and 2 days a week, as like a, you know, I can take on or do more, but like I can basically sort of rely on like, yep, I will get at least X amount of money a week by doing X amount of work, and I can reasonably easily, if I really want more money, I can do a bit more work and get a bit more money. All that sort of stuff. At the same time, the other thing I want to work on is there's a group called Code Academy, and they do like a lot of in-person like learning sessions, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey Amber. Let's get Impa, Greg. Well, Greg just died in another timeline, so let's get Impa. Yeah, Code Academy. They do lessons, and then I don't fully know how they work, but I believe that the main thing is, the main thing I would be looking to do is be a teacher's assistant. So kind of like during a computer lab at uni, there'll be someone who is conducting the lesson, and then the students go ahead and try to do the work, and then the assistant, their job is to just help any students who need further help. And I have another different friend who works on this, and he says it's very rewarding, he enjoys doing it, and most of all is, you know, in theory there's a lot of downtime. There's a lot of time that you don't need to be helping any of the students, and it's fully expected that like you would bring something along to work on yourself. So I believe these are conducted out of Inspire 9, so I already know the space and it's easy enough to get to. And it's easy enough to get to. And you know, the idea is I would take my laptop and then I could work on my own things any time where I don't need to be helping students. So that sounds like a pretty good deal. You basically get, you know, paid to work on your own stuff in an indirect way, which sounds really good. So I need to look into that as well, a bit more, but again, I have friends who are doing both of those things and recommend it, so that's a good start. Yeah, so that's my goal for like making money, but hopefully not using up all of my free time. Got a fever? No, I don't. Yeah. But I need to get onto that a bit more. I've got plenty of other side projects that I'm trying to work on, but none of those are going to make money right now. I mean, even the stuff with the pixel art on t-shirts, like, I feel like I need to... I'm not quite happy with exactly the quality that I'm able to make them to, which is, you know, kind of to be expected. I've only just started. But, you know, that can be a full-time job in itself, in terms of just, like, you know, that's a lot of self-promotion and getting out there and getting people interested in your stuff and then all that sort of thing. Like, I know that's not going to happen, so... The idea is more of a, alright, try to get enough things that you can then put a little, like, you know, get a decent amount of the benefit of having that stuff there without having to, like, focus on it as your main job. Have I been to this table yet? No, I haven't. Ooh. Which means this beetle will have... Ooh. What have you got? You got arrows. Yay! Oh, whoops. That's alright. I was just gonna sell some stuff. Whew. We're at 20 minutes. I have been rambling. That is nothing new. Anyway. See you in the next one, Mum. Love you.